Hey everybody, it's Lance with the Daily Quickie, back after a long hiatus, and you see it right on the screen. This is what happening around me locally. Now, this popped up actually on my Facebook feed yesterday, and I finally decided to get around to it today. Now, this is from the Cleveland Plain Dealer. Now, it says that Cleveland Bagel Company's Instagram post criticizes Lakewood judge for asking if the business sells drugs. Now, when it first popped up yesterday, I was real skeptical about this. Because why in the world would a judge come out and say this? Now, according to the Plain Dealer, the Cleveland Bagel Company, a local business featured on an episode of a LeBron James produced reality show, used social media to call out a municipal court judge for asking in open court if the shop sells drugs. But an audio recording of the court hearing does not have the judge criticizing the business for hiring a felon, as the Cleveland Bagel Company co-owner Dan Hurst wrote on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Now, before I begin, I'm going to show you exactly what the Facebook post showed. Now, it says here, and I'm actually reading for what it says. This is what I saw on my Facebook feed yesterday. It says, special thanks to Judge Patrick Carroll in Lakewood. Today, an employee of ours had a court date, and the good judge used the opportunity to besmirch our business, and to ask my employee if we sell drugs at Cleveland Bagel Company. Answer, no we don't. We are busy making the best bagels in the country, being on the front page of the Wall Street Journal, and working our asses off. The judge also said from the bench in front of the courtroom of people he would not buy a bagel from here because we gave a former felon a job. Answer, good. Thank you, Your Honor, for publicly shitting on our business and sending a message that you have made a mistake in the past you shouldn't be employed. How else is my guy going to pay your court costs if he doesn't have a job? You jackwagon. Sell drugs? I'm not sure if that's a sad face or a mean face. Unbelievable. Okay. I'm going to flip back to this. Now, there's two things with this. Number one, I listened to this entire piece from Lakewood Municipal Court. Now, it's only 2 minutes long, and I'll put the link in the description below so you can hear it for yourself. Now, nowhere in there was that stated as the Facebook page stated. Now, it says here, as in when I saw it was shared more 1,000 times on Facebook before the court closed 4:30 on Wednesday. Now, Carroll, the judge, declined to comment on the matter, but said through a court bailiff, the record speaks for itself. Now, the Cleveland Bagel Company employee pleaded no contest Tuesday, misdemeanor charge of possessing marijuana, structure of official business, a November 16th incident, according to court records. Now, the audio recording in the hearing shows that Carroll made an off remark after employee told me he works for Cleveland Bagel Company. Now, according to the audio, it says, I'm sure LeBron is happy to have you in his appointment, Carroll says. Apparent reference to the business on Cleveland Hustles. It says, after appearance on the show. Later, Cleveland asked the employee if he bought marijuana that officers found in his pocket at a Days Inn Lake Avenue bar. Now, he says, where do you get the marijuana, Carroll asked. Do you sell it down at Cleveland Bagel? Okay. Number one, this sounds like, if you listen to the audio, this was a parole violation. Now, this is actually not a court case, so I don't know why in the world the judge is asking that question. Now, this is an actual case, like a possession charge. Yes, he has every right to ask that question, but here, no. Now, the Lakewood, and before I say that, here's what it says. Lakewood Chief Prosecutor Pamela Roser said that she considered the judge's remarks to be flippant and offhand. Now, the judge did not question why the Cleveland Bagel Company would hire a felon, as Hurst stated in a social media post. Hurst said his employee describes Carroll remarks in a one-on-one conversation. He says the judge also said from a bench in front of a courtroom of people that he would not buy a bagel from here because he gave a former felon a job. I'm going to look at this from a few sides here. Now, before I begin, let's assume after this audio that the judge actually said this. There's a lot of people that's out there that believe that once you're a felon, you're always a felon. That has nothing political, nothing partisan about it. Just across the board, a lot of people believe that. Now, my thing has always been this. Obviously, you're not gonna hire a bank robber to work at a bank once he's served his time. That makes sense. But if he did serve his time, he deserves a chance to be back in society. That's a lot of the problem here. It's just the loop of the system, because they figure once you do it, you always do it. That's gotta flip and stop. Now, I'm gonna go after the Cleveland Bagel Company on this. Now, I'm sure it's a fine place. I've never been there. I don't go up to Lakewood very often. There's a little bit of a drive from down here in Akron. But, I love their arts and crafts scene, by the way. Arts and craft beer scene, by the way. But that's a different story for a different day. Let's assume, and I'm going to flip back to what they said on the Facebook post. Let's assume that actually went down in court. There's a lot of respect in a courtroom unless the judge is being the quote-unquote jack wagon that the judge is, that you're stating in this post. Now, if he was, okay, it's all bets are off at that point. What are you gonna do? Hold you in contempt? That's just an ego play by them. That judge would face being removed from the bench and/or disbarred by the state if that actually went down. But on the flip side was you guys being a total douche if this actually happened? I'm referring to the Cleveland Bagel Company. If he didn't say this, and you said this, not knowing it's a lie, that's being awfully douches. Being a douche, Now, I'm not going to say here or there, because all I'm seeing is a 2-minute audio track. I'm pretty sure that the Lakewood Municipal Court actually has video on this, and if they do, please, folks, put it in the description below so I can watch it, because I would update this video on what's going on. Now, moving on. If I go further down the article, now it says, Carroll, who has been on the bench since 1990, was recently featured on an episode of late-night PBS talk show, The Tabitha Smiley Show. Carroll and other judges discuss criminal justice reform, a part of the show's Courting Justice series. Herbst and co-owner Jeff Harmon founded Cleveland Bagel in 2013. The business has been since featured in publications like the Wall Street Journal, like I said before, and an August episode of Cleveland Hustles. It's kind of hard to say if this was actually said. I don't want to reserve actual judgment until I get all the information in front of me, because especially as a municipal court, they gotta have the transcription. They have part of the audio in this article here, and there's gotta be video. I want to see it all before I make an actual judgment. But folks, I'm gonna get off here on this quickie because it is running kind of long. It's just one of those ones to where I'm just hoping that didn't go down the way it's going down like this, because this judge needs to step out from the bench, from law, from the courts, and go hit the streets for a while. I'll tell you what, Judge Carroll, if you ever watch this, come on down to Akron. We got Oriental House. We got the violent and the non-violent offenders down here, and they do a really good job of trying to get them back into society. And I hope that you weren't actually inquiring about him selling the quote-unquote drugs at his place of employment, because it wasn't the case. It was just an arraignment on a parole violation. Well, folks, I'm going to get off here before I get on this big-time rant. This is the Daily Quickie for December the 15th, 2016.